Hey guys, Bondo here. I'm helping Mike and Chris and the other Mike with this pool today. They just called me in to stamp it. Honestly, we just edged the whole thing. They poured it. They were just finishing up pouring it when I got here. So Chris and Mike are out on their sliders. They're gonna lay it down, give us a nice surface, and I'm gonna stamp it. We're doing a seamless slate pattern today, guys. And this is Mike Carr's job right there. Say hi, Mike. Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys, Bondo here. So I put this video together for you just to kind of show you a bunch of little tips and tricks that I've learned while stamping concrete. I mean, we've been doing this quite a few years now, and I've learned a lot of things kind of the hard way by trial and error. I never took any courses on stamping concrete. Probably would have been beneficial if I did. So I'm just going to tell you how I do it, and I mean, I'm sure there's other ways that you guys do it and probably get good results, but this is working good for me. Today we're doing this seamless slate pattern. It's called Heavy Stone, guys. And here I am. I slowed the video down for you. You can see me turn the stamp right here. This is a real good tip for you, a little trick. See how I'm walking in the seam between the two stamps? Like when you lay your stamps down like this, and there's they're just square, guys. You can lay them down like this. And right now I'm walking them in, and I'll get to that in a minute. The reason I'm walking these in is because I find that when I smack them with the tamper, that the powder will tend to puff out on the edge. So I like to walk them in when I can. I think you get a better result. I have these big shoes that I bought, that slip on over my sneakers and they spread your weight out. I call them my duck shoes, but you can actually just walk these stamps and you don't need to smack them with a tamper. And it's kind of less fatiguing if you're doing a huge piece of concrete. This is 1,300 square feet, guys, and I just about did the whole thing myself. And that's another thing I'll get to in a minute. But you can see me just laying these down. I'm going to turn this in a minute. I think I forgot to turn it. See, I like to turn them like that. Try to turn them, spin them as you're laying them down so that the rock pattern doesn't line up. You don't get any, a pattern. You don't want a pattern with these broken rock, this heavy stone type of seamless rock pattern. You don't want that. So you want to spin that stamp. And if you're doing edges, we didn't have to use a little floppy stamp to do the edges of this pad. I just use these big ones to do the whole thing, and I walk the edge in real good. You can see here you got to kind of pick the other stamp up and set it over it like that. Then you could pick that stamp up. Otherwise, when you pick that stamp up, it's under the other stamp and it'll slide on you. Here's this move right here, guys. This is one of my favorite moves right there. You can see what I did. I turned the stamp at an angle, and what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of that line between the two stamps, because when you walk these in or you pound them and you just leave them square, you're going to see a line between there. So I just wanted to slow that down and show you how I do that. I'll turn that stamp sideways, and I like to look for those lines, and if I see them, I just walk it in quick, and it totally gets rid of that line. And notice another thing, guys. I'm the only one out there stamping right now, and there's a reason for that. The more people you put out there on that pad walking around, the more chance you're going to have footprints in it. And that's why I'm trying to do it by myself, and I'm just the only one out there. I'm throwing my own powder. The boys are laying it down. One thing I could tell you, too, that I've learned in the past is, say you're doing some stamped concrete and you funny float the concrete, the stamped concrete. You funny float it. You don't knee board it. You can get decent results like that, but don't trowel the edges, reach over with a mag and hit just the edge, and then just keep everything else funny floated. You will definitely see that where your mag is different than your funny float. It changes the concrete a little bit. Gets probably a little bit better surface, I would imagine. And what happens is where you magged will actually take the color better than where you funny floated. So if you're going to funny float these, guys, you can do that. You don't have the time to get out there and lay it down like we did here. I mean, these guys are, Mike and Chris here are really, really good on sliders. Guys, they do a lot of big commercial work for this company, and they're on these sliders all the time. So they're really, really good at it. Actually, I want to learn how to use them as good as these guys because I'm not that good on sliders. I always use foam knee boards, but these guys can fly. So they laid this whole pad down, and what that did for us is that surface is all the same, guys, and that's important when you're stamping concrete. You wouldn't think it, but like I said, if you got areas that you mag floated and you got areas that say you only bow floated it or you funny floated it, and these areas are different, it's going to take the color completely different, and you're going to notice it. You're going to see that, and you're going to distinctively see that. And the reason I know that is because I've done it before. And you can kind of blend it when you're washing the powder out. You can kind of use a pressure washer and try to blend it, but you're definitely going to see it. It just takes the color different, like I said, and you don't want that. So whether you funny float it or you hand mag the whole thing, just make sure the surface is all the same. You know, whatever you're trying to do, keep the surface all the same. Don't mix and match. That's a real good tip I can tell you. Like I said, learn from experience here. I'm still walking them in, guys. Just me out there. This is a big piece of concrete, like I said. I'm moving right along pretty good, doing my thing here. But there comes a point where you can't walk them in anymore, really. This concrete's drying, obviously. This took me, I don't know, maybe an hour or so, hour or a little more than an hour to stamp all this. So as I'm moving along, this concrete's drying. I'm keeping an eye on it, and I'm keeping an eye on where my trucks are, my different trucks. Like right here, I'm getting into the second truck. I wasn't there when they poured it, but the guys told me where the first truck and second truck were. So notice right here, I grabbed that stamper, that tamper tool, and the reason I did that is because it's getting harder, guys. So walking them in right now is not really working. And I'm not too worried about leaving duck ponds anymore because I'm not sinking in at all. You can feel the difference. There comes a point where you go from just you can feel the concrete moving under your feet to you can't feel it anymore, moving at all. And you look at your impression, and you want to keep your impression the same throughout the whole pad. So there comes a point where you got to start whacking on it. And you'll see here in a minute. I wanted to do this whole thing myself just because Mike said, I don't know, Mike kind of dared me that, wondered if I could do this whole slab myself, and I said I could. But right about here, I said, you know what, I got to get Chris out here. I was afraid that I was going to not, I could do the whole slab, definitely, but I was afraid that I wasn't going to get a good of an impression at the end, and I didn't want that. So right here, Chris, I said, get out here. I almost finished it, guys, by myself. It's about 1,300 square feet, so I did pretty good. But right here, I got Chris out there, and we're whacking these real hard right now. You could see. And see the powder puffing out from underneath there, guys? That's what you got to be careful of. When you pick up that stamp, you got to look and make sure there's not a line where that powder puffed out, because that will leave a distinctive line in your finished product. So you want to lap it pretty good there and make sure you cover them up. Maybe throw a little more powder if you got to, but that's why I like to walk them in. And by walking them in with my shoes, guys, it gets me out there a lot sooner than if I started walking out there with just sneakers on or boots. I wouldn't be able to get out there as soon and use the tamper to start. So I wouldn't be able to do this much concrete. This is a big piece of concrete, so that's my secret there. Well, guys, I hope the video was helpful for you. This is some of my tips and tricks I've learned through the years stamping concrete. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, if you do it different. Maybe if this video was helpful to you or not. just let me know down there. And thanks again for watching, guys. And see you on the next video. There it is, guys. And we just beat the rain. Actually, you can see it's raining now. So this thing's all covered in powder, so it shouldn't hurt it. We're hoping this rain blows over. It looks pretty good back there. I think it's just a little passing shower. But we got her stamped out. Got kind of hard at the end, so Chris helped me about from here, just this section here, and I ended up finishing this. So pretty much did 99% of it myself, guys. I was trying to get it all done myself, but it did get kind of hard at the end, so I didn't want to show off and you know, lose that last section and have it not get the good impression that we were looking for. Because when you started here, we wanted this last piece to match this. So when I stepped out on here, it was pretty soft. I was trying not to leave duck ponds. By the time I got around, you seen we were whacking the heck out of this with the tamper, and I was just walking them in over here. So, but you're gonna see, I'll try to get Mike, this is Mike, so I'll try to get a finished product video of what this looks like after he gets it sealed. But I'm pretty confident that these areas are gonna look really good. We actually just noticed right here that there was a spot that didn't get stamped. I probably didn't hit it hard enough. It was getting hard, but you always want a guy behind you just looking for stuff like that. We actually had all the stamps packed up and stuff, and I looked out there and I seen right here where that light spot is. There wasn't a good impression. So we went back out, we pulled the stamps off the truck, got back out there, and I whacked it really good. So you could tell the difference in the impression. So it's a pretty big piece of Stampcrete, guys. And pools are the hardest thing we do as masons, honestly, I think. Let me know what you think in the comments, if there is anything harder than pools. But I'm not a big fan of pools. Oh, here comes, look at that guy. He's got money in his hand. Woo, I gotta go.